Peace, HHDG. We're on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And as always, big shout out, sorry, big shout out to everyone that's always tuning in through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group. And I gotta give, much respect to everyone that, if I do see them at any events I go to, they mention the interviews, which tells us that we're doing a really good job of making sure people are knowing about these talented artists and that there's plenty of music out there to listen to that is not always seen through the masses. So big up to everyone, that's out there sharing, liking, having that same mind of spreading the music that's out there that's worth being spread. So big salute to everyone out there doing that. You can go to our website, which you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com. There you will see some of our past written interviews, as well as music, upcoming events, and our merch. As always, this is made possible through our company, HHDG Media, Inc., which is our 5 members, the fam, T. Smith, Rock Vader KB, Skelly Top, the Mayor, and myself, Wiki. For tonight, we have a returning guest repping Framingham, Massachusetts, and a very, how would I say, concise, direct, honest, definitely on point, and can show what it is to have a delivery that can be utilized no matter what type of production has been put out there. And concepts is a very key thing that always stands out with his work. He had a series called The Drop, which I know the third one came out last year, and the very first one was about 8 years ago now, almost, or probably just over 8 years. And you got to give a big up to the whole High Speed Network, King Arthur. This is a well-oiled machine, putting out proper music and proper merch that coincides with releases, like the release that we're going to be speaking about tonight, A Dark Storm, which was released last month, with DC's Fat Neil. And this project definitely gives off, an aura of, how would I say this? It gives off an aura that you would feel is established, has a buildup of something brewing, and we get to see it in full force. Once the music comes through, the lyrics come through, the production's coming through, the excerpts and samples used in here. It definitely, everything meshed well together in a perfect storm, a dark storm at that. So we're definitely going to get into that and see what else is going on with this talented MC, and as well as High Speed Network. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce once again on HHDG Media Inc., Louie Sincere.
Man, your intros never disappoint. I want to just tell you that a million times. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. We need stuff like that, man. We need people who really supporting, who's really understanding everybody's body of work, man. And you coming back to the past with my joints and coming over here full force again and again, man. It's all love out this way, High Speed Way.
I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. A little bit of that. And it's funny that now that you bring it up, I was just thinking real quick off the top of my head. One of the things in high school was I was told that I'm good at writing and understanding the structure of, a body of work, how you do your introduction and you introduce not just a story without giving everything away, but also bits and pieces of the characters that you go into the body of it and get to the conclusion and everything. So when I do my intros, like early in the week, I write down little bullets, and also off of, me just being a fan of the music, I mix a little two of those together, and then I just do the intro from there.
Well, you knocking it out of the park every time. I watch your videos, man. It's man, you ill with it, man. You ill with it.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, definitely. Now, for those that haven't tuned in before, once again, we had Louis Sincere on here previously. You could definitely check out that interview and definitely get a very in-depth look at the talents that, he possesses and where that drive comes from.
Yeah, that was a great one too. That was a good one.
Indeed, indeed. Now, before we get into a dark storm, let's start with telling us about working with Fat Neil.
Yeah, man. So Fat Neil just dropped from somewhere else to me back in 2018. So we were releasing like little singles back in 2018. Me and my man's Jose Rockwell, and he had put a comment in one of the joints we did, and, something simple like dope or something. I don't even remember off the top of my head.
Hmm.
But all I know is, I'm like, wait, let me check what this guy's about, because I know that you can go on other people's profiles through the SoundCloud.
Right.
So I heard his joints, and I'm like, yo, this is very unique. It's different. Like he's got like an ominous sound to his joints, and he's using. And then once you study somebody's work, you notice that they're not sample. Some people, they're not sampling like a big sample. They're throwing a bunch of samples all at the same time, and
Same time. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is somebody I can rock with. It's very different, and frankly, he was um when the era came out, in 2018, when it was like, Griselda first popping out like that, and like really like blowing up and whatnot. You see, he was doing that, like his was ahead of its time, dude. So all his sounds you hear there, it's kind of like you familiar with like Flying Lotus?
Yes. Yep.
So like it's kind of like that, but boom bap, eerie. It's like something you could definitely get jiggy with. Just start writing and just chilling. I used to listen to his beats just hanging out. So that's how dope it was to me.
Indeed, indeed. And I just put up his SoundCloud link because he has hundreds of tracks on there for you to definitely dive into.
You
And
see?
I'm gonna tell you right now, just you explained, his work precisely. He has I'm trying to remember the project. It had a joint called Tetsuka. I think it was one um vacancy tapes.
Okay.
And that one track Tezuka, stood out. But you listen to the whole project and you see how diverse he is, but he still has a mainstay on there. And then
Right.
just trust me, dive into his SoundCloud, just let it run, and then you find other dope stuff on there.
That's what I used to do. I used to just run all his joints all the way through and just vibe out. And then, I was coming up with a lot of unique hooks through his beats.
Oh, okay.
So safe to say, back in 2018, that's when I started like doing them unique hooks. You know what I mean? So yeah,
That's dope.
yeah.
Now, I love, even now, I don't do it as much, but I still say this. I still go on SoundCloud and I still run through stuff. I still discover, other talents out there.
Just hidden gems in SoundCloud still. Shit, I remember back in my way back, it was SoundClick.
Ah, yes.
It
Hmm.
was and then before that, let's not even talk about like you finding people's beats on LimeWire,
Mhm.
and there was like unregulated websites with people's joints way before, kind of like of a forum style, where people just drop beats. It was like those were great eras because you could just come across anybody's beat. But back then, you'd find the beat and you'd never find the guy who made it,
Yeah,
the person who made it. So it's like, um, I like now that producers are definitely getting a lot of their shine on. I mean, it's definitely needed, especially when you're pairing a great MC and a great beat maker. Like it just goes hand in hand. It's a no brainer,
true.
you know.
Yep. Now, when did you initially start working on the new EP, A Dark Storm?
This is funny because remember I said we like linked up around 2018.
Hmm.
We didn't get started on the EP till 8 years later. So we kept contact for that long, and life started lifing, and things got in, you know, obstacles, you know, came up in front, and it just kept getting pushed back and getting
Right.
pushed back. But eventually, I put like I put my foot down on it. I'm like, hold on, hold on, hold on. I had to stop everything I was doing. I'm like, damn, we really need to do this EP. It's long overdue, like a light bill. Like this is, we gotta do this ASAP. Cause then he was just sending me more and more beats that I'm like, I started noticing that the projects I was currently doing,
Hmm.
I like stopped, and I was just, you know, writing to his stuff. And I'm like, all right, I gotta pump the brakes on this real quick. You
You in the
know,
moment.
we in the moment. Let's
Uh-huh.
just let's just get it off like that, and then let's see what comes up out of it.
Okay.
And I yo, what I fuck with Fat Neil about the most is he is patient as hell. Like it's all art to us, you know, and you never rush art. It's not like
True.
everything he was passing to me, he was passing to other people. Oh, I made it very clear with that. I'm like, hey, anything you send my way, put a lock on it, you know. But yeah, so to go back to that, it's I don't know, the EP, 8 years, whatever. It came out, it's here. Enjoy it. Bring an umbrella or some shit. Bring a poncho. We got ponchos too.
You
We'll
got
talk about that.
ponchos. That's
We'll talk
right.
about we'll talk about that later.
Yep. Now, I mentioned the EP. Um, I know sometimes there's how many tracks does it equate to be an EP or an album?
Right.
How does that stand with you?
I don't give a shit. I
Okay.
just put what I put and I call it what I call it. Sometimes no bullshit. Sometimes I gotta call King Arthur and I'm like, I gotta be reminded. What's an EP? What's an LP? Look, man, you can ask him. I'm locked in the studio. I don't even know what time it is sometimes. So it's like I wanna put it like this and like that, and that's just how it lands. And this just landed as an EP too because um it's not that it's short because there's some joints on there that got it's got some time on them, so
Yep.
that way you get to enjoy it. But also when I implemented a lot of the samples, I wanted it to be like a mini series kind of. So it's kind of like you can hear it from the beginning to the end, and there's the picture that I instilled for you. Is that, and that's how I ran it. Whether it's an EP or an LP later down the line, I don't know. All I know is we putting out heat.
Cool. Cool. Now, being that I know how King Arthur is, I know he had a set plan when it came to dropping the maxi single or the two single, the two quarters, and
Right,
Cash Rules.
right,
So
right.
tell us how that came to be.
Man, look, I don't know how many times I gotta say this enough Big shout out to King Arthur, man. Driving force. He is High Speed Network, and him bringing me on board is just the best thing that ever happened to me in terms of taking this rap shit seriously. And yeah, he had an idea. He's always got the ideas and the method. He's very calculated. We decided to drop those two because it just made sense. Especially with the theme of the whole project, those two were like the standouts. That was, side A, side B.
Hmm.
So, when we put them together, again, like we gotta tell people, like, we do our own stuff. We do our own covers. We do everything we gotta do. We do everything in house. So everything
Right.
you get is direct, is High Speed Network. Is the quality over quantity aspect. So yeah, he had that vision. We dropped those, and then the rest is history after that. Great choices in my opinion.
Absolutely. So I want to know, how'd you hook up with DJ Grasshopper, two quarters?
So I connected with DJ Grasshopper. Well, first off, I've been hearing of DJ Grasshopper for a while now through the circuits. So
Yep.
I already knew of his name. I thought his cuts were dope. I thought
Hmm.
everything he did was dope. It wasn't until Chuck Chan, my man's Chuck Chan. Big shout out
Ah,
to Chuck Chan.
absolutely, Chuck Chan. Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Chan. He linked me up with him. Um, cause me and Chuck Chan. But anyways, he linked me up with him, and yeah, it's simple. It was simple. Me and Grasshopper, we chop it up. I always chop it up with the people I meet. I always got to know, like, hey, where you from? What's going on with you? Talk a little bit about this, because some of these people are from around the world. I don't know what, they not living like how I'm living. I want to pick your brain. I want to know what's up with you, and I feel like organically that's the best way to work with somebody.
True.
And yeah, Grasshopper is just very direct. Hey, this is what it is. Let's do it. And I'm like, all right, send them the joint. Um, my method in what I send them is just, I give them some scratch ammo, some extras, and then I send them, I'll always throw like a couple samples if he wants to use them, and some of the verse, which, you know, it depends how the song flows. I'll prefer one or the other, and that's it. Shout out to DJ Grasshopper, man. He killed that shit.
He did. Definitely did.
Killed
You know,
that shit.
we'll play it very soon. Um, I wanted to know, based off of explaining how Fat Neil's production is and how that coincides with the title as well.
It's just dark and it's eerie, and there's a theme behind it. So to just put it out there, a dark storm means more than the title itself. A dark storm, compared with Fat Neil's beats, him being from DC, a lot of them government buildings are over there. A lot of them policies are drawn out over there. A lot of the things people hear about, aka, US government funneling drugs to fund war efforts and whatnot, you know, for him to be from DC and that happening blocks away and it becoming a dangerous city
Hmm.
due to, these invisible hands, you know what I mean? Um, that was the perfect mashup with his beats. I'm like, this is fucking genius. This is it. We are going to flip what a dark storm means. They're creating a dark storm around us. And that doesn't need to have happened in the 80s. That's happening currently. It's
Exactly.
like
Yep.
a lot of these things that don't get talked about enough. Now it's getting funneled through the media. Now that's the new drugs. The new drugs is giving you something else to look at, and something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Change your way of thinking. I mean, it's always been like that. It's always been like that. We could talk about this all day.
Yep.
And I don't want to go off track because you told me a question. And listen, King Arthur always tells me the same thing. Hey, all right, you're going a little off track, man. So that's why I love him, man. Yo, big shout out to King Arthur, man. But yeah, it pairs with his beats. It's dark, it's eerie. It's like I wanted you to be right there in the trap houses. I wanted you to be, in the downtown where people is looking sick, and it's like this shit just came from the fucking sky, you know? It's like one of those type of things. Yeah, that's basically that's basically it.
Yeah. And it's amazing. Have you been to DC before?
No, I've driven through
Driven.
DC,
Okay.
of course. But yeah, nah, I've never been there to stay. Um, I've been to Baltimore. I stayed in Baltimore for a little bit. That's right there. You know what I mean? That's right around the way as well. That's right near there, right? Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, so no, I haven't. But again, speaking with Fat Neil, us chopping it up, it's more or less, I know the inner workings down there, man. Boots on the ground, no.
Yeah. Yep. And it's just amazing. I've been there twice. Um, it's amazing how quick the area changes. A few blocks away from the White House.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to
Reality checks in real quick.
and that's what I wanted to showcase. And doing this project, man, look, if I'm gonna do a theme, I'm gonna theme the fuck out of it. I'm gonna go do my research. I'm gonna go comb through the Wayback Archives, the '70s riots, I'm gonna do my research on Marion Barry. I'm gonna do my thing on the inner workings of what the fuck I'm trying to talk about. Cause there's no way somebody just does something like this and get
Just out of
away with
nowhere.
just out of nowhere. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I want to also, in a sense, too. It's not all about the darkness behind all that. It's a person that's not even from there. Instead of now bringing you into my world all the time, fuck it. Let me take a trip out there. You know what I mean? Let's do a project focused about out there, and that's what I did, man.
Indeed, indeed. And what I like about this project is I just shout out to King Arthur. He put me onto a few books, and one of them that I purchased after our interview was the Transparency Society.
Mm,
And this goes right into it. It's the same way.
yeah, man. We can go on and on about various topics. He's probably the best person to talk about that because you know what I mean. He's that guy, man. He's definitely put me on to some books too. So, shout out to King Arthur, man.
Indeed. When it comes to the marketing, what made you go with the poncho?
Oh man. Um, I went with the poncho because of the theme. I went I went with the ponchos because shit, something as simple as me actually being stuck in the damn rain. You know what I mean? And you know, I really like to think outside the box, man. Like it's not always like, you know, th- it's cool. Shirts is cool. You know what I mean? Like sweaters is cool. Hats is cool. But I'm like, from now on, I told myself, from now on, anything that I drop, it's gotta be like what I drop. And what better than a damn poncho? What better than a damn poncho? It's better to be caught with one than without one. So I got one right here, actually in the flesh. Now that we're on the poncho topic, it's right here. Check this out. You can hear it. You can hear this. This ain't no cheap shit. All right. You ain't getting any better than this. Yo, you like hiking with your shorty. You like going out. You know what I mean? This is what you need right here. Look at that. Amazing. Comes with the drawstrings. I can't hear you, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah. So, very it's one size fits all, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you look, man. You're gonna look great in this. And it's
And stay
very
dry.
it's you're gonna stay dry with this. You're gonna stay dry with this. Trust and believe. But anyways, that is what it is. It comes with a nice carrying case for it. Stick it in your trunk, you know what I mean? Wherever you go, you got it there, I know there's a bunch of dog walkers that might want this. You can think of anything, you know? Or you can storm the White House with it on. I don't know, whatever you want to do. There's the ponchos, $35.99. It's the link in bio. It's the link in bio. It's on my Bandcamp, or you could DM me directly. We could work it out. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
it's very limited. Started flying already, but nonetheless, we the some in stock. So
nice.
copy ponchos, man.
Now you said it comes with a case.
Yes, it comes with a little case here.
Okay. All right.
Standard little case. You just
Mhm.
throw that in there. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy, nothing too bulky. You can slide that wherever you want. You know what I mean? Somewhere. Feel me? That's it. High speed ponchos.
Who I know a lot of everything that's done is in house. So who handled the artwork for this one?
Meaning the high speed logo.
No, I'm sorry, for a Dark Storm.
Oh, a Dark Storm. So, the cover.
Yeah.
So the cover was set. So this is crazy. I had that cover in my email since 2015.
Wow.
So I used to collect a lot of like a lot of art pieces, pieces I'd come across, um and I had that in there, and I'm like, I was just going through my stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, this is dope. I'm gonna put this aside one day. Later down the line, I met Fat Neil. Never put all of that together
Hmm.
until I put it together, and that's how it went. Now the back cover, where it looks like the TV, it's not on the Bandcamp, but the
Hmm.
back cover, it I made it myself. You know what I mean? I just took a
Okay.
couple pictures, merged them together, whatnot. Artistic shit, man. That's it. That's all I'm gonna put it like. you know, I like doing that in my downtime. Sometimes and that's another thing about me, man, that people are gonna get to know me about. If I'm not rapping in the studio, if I'm not chopping it up with your favorite producer, if I'm not doing that, I'm doing covers just cause I'm sitting there. I'll do a random cover and just do that. You know, I'll reach out to people who actually draw.
Hmm.
Yo, what's up? Send me this, send me that, or whatever you could do, whatever. And we'll do something like that too, and I'll tweak the fuck out of it. I'll make that shit look pretty. You feel me? But
Oh,
I'm always doing something when it comes to this rap shit, man. And it's again, it's not always this rap shit, cause shit, I'm very interested in fuck making a movie. I'll make a damn movie too. I got so many ideas. I'm ready for anything. And
mm.
trust me, right now, Fat Neil in a movie, his beats,
Oh, easily.
it's easily
Hmm.
the
I
illest
agree.
score, easily.
You know, and speaking of that, let's go into how it started off. The first track, tonight's forecast.
Tonight's forecast. So the warning. It's the warning. It's a sample of a legit storm that crossed through all of New England, the Gulf of Mexico. It went through, I wasn't around for that time, but it's definitely just the warning for what's about to come. Um, there's many again, there's many samples in this project that you got to pay attention to. It all ties in together, and it's very. There's a lot of metaphors in this. Double entendres. It's everything in it for you.
Yep. And the way it goes from tonight's forecast into Ronald Reagan on wire fraud.
Oh man, when I put that together, you should have seen my face. Like I drank spoiled milk. Oh, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. And it was the perfect sample. It's basically the punch in your throat. This is what it's about, all right? So here, take
Yep.
it. That's you know, if you can't decipher that, don't let this shit go over your head, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, Wire Fraud's my favorite joint, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel, you know, the way that intro meshes with the eeriness of Fat Neil's production on here, and then how you start off in your delivery. But how did you say it? Wire fraud, iron clawed.
Oh, so it's funny you say that because that's King Arthur's favorite shit too. Like all he used to say about it was those lines. Um, I think I said something like I think I said something like, oh, okay, non-pertinent. That's wire fraud. Iron squad with
Right.
iron drawn, lion claw scraping all that fire
Right.
raw.
Yep.
So, yeah, empires fall. I admire God, but the devil got us by the balls. Pause.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I was definitely in my bag on that one. Definitely in my bag.
And then the way King Arthur, comes in
The next
and just
joint.
ends it off.
So he comes in on the next joint, Silk Lined Allegiance. That's when I said that little line. Me and Fat Neil are overdue like a light bill,
I think.
cause, cause it's the truth, and I had to say that. Um,
And now I
but
understand. Eight years.
8 years to do 8 songs. Oh, 8 years to do 8 songs.
Mm,
Wow, how it goes. But it was again, King Arthur absolutely obliterated that joint. Again, I'm gonna say it like the last interview. Sometimes I gotta like I always second guess if I gotta redo my verse. I don't give a shit. I'll say it. I'll say it. Sometimes he be killing my shit. I'm like, you know what I mean? But when I speak about this type of stuff to him, he says, "Nah, man, we them ones, you know." And that's what keeps me. That's what keeps me with it. It's always got to be a healthy competition to it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like we gotta show out. We brothers, but at the same time, we sharpening each other's. You know what I mean? We this is how it's supposed to be. But he did his thing on that.
Indeed. Before we go into risk or reward, based off of what you were just telling me, what keeps that chemistry between you and Fat Neil? Because, like you said, y'all talk about a lot of different things, and also, which is very key, because when I used to do a lot of road trips, like if I'm in a different area, I try to take in not only what I see, but how people interact, how their way of life is different from how I do things. So I'm sure when the two of you talk, being from different areas, Massachusetts and DC, those things come. come into play when y'all will talk about?
I'm gonna tell you, not really.
No.
Nah, because we talk about a lot of stuff, but there's a level of mystery to Fat
Hmm.
Neil, man, that which is kind of dope. You know what I mean? So, um, when it came to doing the projects, the only thing we really chopped it up about was just like if this was suitable for like the next joint, or how a next sample would come in. So he was very easy to work with. It was definitely like one of my favorite projects to do, because while we're talking about other things in the real world per se, it's really just always just comes down to the music. Like, hey, you got the beats? Oh, yo, send me beats. Yo, I love this type of thing. What you do here with that? Oh, I did this. And then, when he explained to me something that was very, because I asked him, hey, I'm gonna be doing some interviews. What do you want people to know about you for real, like that?
Hmm.
He says when he finds samples, he takes samples that give him an emotion out of it.
Ah.
So
Hmm.
he doesn't touch anything that just sounds good. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can find the best sample and it sounds dope, like a vocal or something like that. It might not register with you. Oh,
Yeah,
this
that's
sounds
definitely
good
different.
because I'm used to this type and people will like it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
For him, he says it has to strike up an emotion out of him. I thought that was real dope. I thought that makes it more personal.
It does. Yeah, that's very interesting. Absolutely personal.
So
Yes.
when someone tells me it makes that type of stuff makes it more personal to them, fuck, I gotta make this shit personal too. I can't just let my man's over here, you know what I mean, carry the wave.
Right.
Now I gotta do my thing. So a lot of this whole project is 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 not only that gritty hardcore, it's emotional, man. It's like you really standing there with these people, and you looking and you having several outlooks in one spot, you know.
Indeed. Indeed. And I got to give him big respect on his beats and beatdown that I've checked on his YouTube. I
Oh
love
yeah.
that, how he does that with the video games and his own production over it.
Yeah, man. He's a problem, man. He's a problem.
We are on now. Risk or reward.
Whatever the title says right there. You know, growing up, when you just see a lot of you see the hustlers making their money. You see a lot of the stuff. As a youth, you looking at it like, damn, I just want what they got. You don't know what they putting in, but also you don't understand that it's a choice at the end of the day. You take your risk and you get your reward. In some cases, you'll take the risk and it's just a fucking risk
Yeah.
and you don't receive a reward. So when I put that together, it definitely is like, if you could hear the song, it's about a person that's just like fucking confused. Like, I'm doing these risks.
Yep.
I'm not receiving rewards. Oh, there's a reward. I'm not happy enough. You know what I mean? And it's a vicious cycle until, we say those two things that has been said for ages, since the ancient times. You either get locked up or you die. You know what I mean? And in the end, as you hear that sample, somebody chose a route.
Hmm.
And for what? For what? So yeah, that's what risk or reward is really about.
And the sample after the first verse that was placed proper too.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm telling you, Me and Fat Neil, dude, how we talk about how we're gonna put stuff in. It's just it's like it's the touch, a chef's kiss, man. Every time we do it, and yeah, man, that's a good joint. I like that joint too. I like that joint a lot.
When I hear that track, it gives me vibes of certain video games too.
Hmm. Yeah, man, his sounds is
So
unique.
you never know. That might have been on the beats and beat down, and I didn't catch it yet. You never
But
know.
we never, yeah, you never know. You never know, man.
Now we're on Cash Rules. I don't know if that was a sample in there or if he stretched, some type of instrumentation out or what, but it's very haunting.
When I first heard that beat, that's exactly what I thought, man. Again, I scrunched my face to that shit. I'm like, yeah, this got to be worked on right. And that's basically just inside the trap house. That's basically that whole song. That whole song is that. You hear a guy on the stoop like, yo, my Chinese food better still be in the fucking fridge, cause you got a hundred motherfuckers coming in and out of this bitch.
Yeah.
Somebody stole your shit, and he's mad about Chinese food. That's also, that's also very haunting, cause it's like people who just don't give a fuck. It's just
Yep.
like it is what it is. Another risk of reward situation.
And another thing I like is you change the tone of your voice on the song too. I don't know if everybody caught that.
Yeah, man. Definitely had to do something different with that. Lately I've been doing that too because it's very man, it's just fucking fun. I'm just gonna say it. It's fucking fun. There's no extra shit I can say about it. It's fucking fun. And I like how sometimes my voice changed like that because you know what? It engages the listener. It's like,
Mhm.
oh shit, hold on a second. Oh, I fuck with this shit. You always want to make something worthy of a playback. You know, and that was it too. And sometimes I'm gonna be real, man. A lot of people don't know this. I get bored with myself, man. Sometimes I'm like, man, I'm sick and tired of this fucking how I'm delivering in this verse. Let me fucking switch it up. And that's what I do, man. I have fun with it, man.
Yep. Got to.
Hell yeah.
Next up is Two Quarters, which we were talking about earlier, with cuts by DJ Grasshopper.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite joints too. Two quarters is exactly what the title is. You're putting two quarters in the video game, but the video game's called life. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I don't really have to. I don't really want to explain it too much with all the with the lines and how they coincide with video games and all that. Um,
Listen to the song.
just listen to the song because it's a real good ride too. Like it's definitely something that you know, man, you could put that in your gym playlist. I don't know. Like it's just something. It's something like that. It's definitely upbeat. It's unique. That's another song in which I kind of switch up my vocals, kind of. You know, I sound different in certain parts because I was really trying to show out on that shit. There's a lot going on in that beat. There's a lot got to go on with me too.
Yeah.
So that's how we hit that one. Shout out to DJ Grasshopper, man. Showed out.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious how this was all structured for this track. Did he hear it and then you spoke about where he wanted to lay the cuts out, or he just did his thing after hearing the song.
Look, man, if I'm gonna work with someone, I'm working with you based off of just how you curate your own stuff. If there's certain things I want to remove, they gotta be little things,
Mhm.
nothing that really um like takes out of what you're doing for me. because we are working on this as a team. So he laid it. I don't tell him how to do anything. I'll leave the spaces there. I did the song. I left the spaces. I said, do your
Uh-huh.
thing. I said, do your thing. Do your
Trust his
thing.
talent. Yep.
That's it. Because this is really what it is, man. If I'm gonna reach out to you, that is what it is. If I'm being picky, like, oh hey, do you mind using I mean, it's cool. Look, don't get me wrong. People work in different ways. I'm not knocking it. I'm
Mhm.
just saying if you're gonna work with somebody, I really believe that should let them do what they do best. And if there's certain things that you don't like, you know, you could remove something if you want, but it really takes away from his hard work, man. So yeah, man, I just let him do his thing,
Yeah.
and it worked out.
Let their talent shine.
I
And
mean, with a reputation like his, I mean, come on.
exactly, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. You know what you're gonna get when you're working with DJ Grasshopper.
Exactly, and that goes for anybody else too. You know,
Yeah. We are on Purple Hearts.
Purple Hearts, man, a weak man, a wounded soul, man. All they think about is lust. You know, kill, everything else, money. A wounded person. That's all
Yeah.
that. That's what that song is. How about how I will hurt you. How I keep. You know, I don't. The devil is taking control of certain things, and people keep continuing to take those glasses of what the devil keeps serving.
Irvin, yep.
You know what I mean? So that's what that is. That's actually the first time I'm gonna say it. That's actually on a personal level for me too. At one point, I felt that way. You know what I mean? I felt like as a man. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people feel like that. We could do better and whatnot. And there was times in my life when I felt like that. I was down, man. I was down and out. And nonetheless, I'm still a soldier. I'm gonna keep soldiering on, but I keep taking these shots. I keep taking these drinks that I don't know who the fuck is serving me this shit.
Mhm.
And it's really just a mindset that you have to change. So yeah,
And the content of this song, you nailed the tone because the emotions of what you're talking about definitely the way you project it, you feel it more.
yeah. I mean that's the point, man. The point is to give you some shit that you can feel, man. And then who knows? Next project I'll do some. I'll bully the fuck out of you, man. Whatever you want, whatever you want to listen to. But yeah, man, you got to get on a personal level sometimes. I feel like that's very, very needed in today's climate, especially in music.
Indeed, indeed. And then you ended it off with trying to find peace, which not only is like the magnum opus to the A Dark Storm, but this is the one that really captured me, overall with what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, it's a very serious song, but it's people who are fed up, but they don't know where to turn. They don't know how to go about it because they're conditioned in different ways. They're conditioned where they're living conditions. You know what I mean? Or they're conditioned in it's the mind, man. And trying to find peace with a beat like that that's so chaotic, you can't find it. You can't find it. You're overwhelmed. Your anxiety is on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? You screaming and trying to calm yourself all at the same time. That's what that song really is all about. And I'd rather people who listen to it interpret it in their own way because I've heard tons of people give me their different views on it, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about it like that,
Mm.
and it's dope. It's dope. I'm glad I ended it like that.
You said it's like my mind that flows. I let it flow out this pen.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for this pen, it'll be another tool.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a different tool, or it could be no tool at all. It could be living your life like a savage.
And another thing, I'm I love transitions. And Fat Neil, what he did with this track, he did it twice that I can recall. I'm gonna go play it again, but I'm pretty sure he did it twice because after your first verse, and then you got the sample in there, and then you come in on the next verse, and it changes up again. It seems a little more stripped down, and it gets even more eerie
and
compared
hectic
to where it started.
and hectic,
Hmm.
and then it gets you low key uncomfortable, man. But it is what it is. A big shout out to Fat Neil. Excuse me. Big shout out to Fat Neil. Man, he's the only one I hear doing this type of shit right now. The way that he's orchestrating this whole thing, man, is it's fire. It's fire.
So now that we've gone through the entire EP, I'm curious to know when the two of you work together, have you ever thought of um what was it I was gonna say? Because I know the two of you probably bounce certain ideas off and placements and everything. But I'm curious, knowing getting more insight into his style of production. What else did y'all have in store while working on this?
Well, there were a couple songs that got scrapped, which I never call it getting scrapped because I want to put them in other
For something
places.
else. Hmm.
Like an album. It's like album worthy stuff. I know it's hard to believe. It was too good. There was a song that was too good for the EP that I'm like, nah, this is like album cut type shit. So it's like I need to set this one aside. Um, but nah, man, really, we're just gonna go with the win with this one. Of course, we're gonna be working more in the future. Um, but I also want to put them on with my peoples, man. I want to hear my peoples on a Fat Neil joint.
True that.
Because that's really what we in it for. We gotta cross pollinate, you know, with the people we really rock with though. I'm not gonna send him somebody's way that I don't have the same values as. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I gotta really rock with you if you're gonna rock with my mans like that. But yeah, man, a King Arthur EP with Fat Neil. Come on now.
Yeah,
Come
that'd be dope.
on. Come on now. And I can think of a lot of people off the top of my head. I ain't gonna name names, but it's a no brainer for that. But again, everybody got to put in the work too on both ends. Uh, artist, beat maker, engineer. You know what I mean? Host, interviewer, everything. Everybody got to put their work in. So yeah, man, that's really what it is to make a perfect project come to life.
That's ill. Now, is was he originally Fat Neil, and he also goes by Cooper Circle? Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
I believe he goes by both.
Okay,
So I'm not sure if it's like an alias. Um, you know, you should reach out to him, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Reach out to him.
I'll reach out to him.
Be like, hey, what's up with the Cooper Circle and what's up with the Fat Neil? And I'm pretty sure it's both his names, or maybe that's just like his Instagram handle.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, Fat Neil is to me it's Fat Neil. To me, it's Fat Neil. Um, but yeah, we're definitely gonna be working still in the future.
Nice, nice. I wanna let me play the promo for the poncho real quick for the
Sounds.
people out there.
I'll be grateful for that. Thank you. Crazy commercial. Crazy.
Well,
You know how many people said, "Yo, that sounds like a horror. That looks like a horror, a horror commercial." I was like, "Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Shit, shit was dope though. Big shout out to King Arthur, man. He did all that. He shot and edited that whole thing, man. And he's the illest when it comes to that. Like I said, multi talented over on this side. High speed is nothing but luxury, man.
yeah. And another thing I gotta say, with King Arthur's ability with the visuals, you with the artwork, Fat Neil with the cinematics, I could see y'all doing some films together.
I said this. I said this previous in this interview. I said that.
Yep.
That's what's dope about that. Like, you know, there's producers I know too that they also have great beats like that. But when I hear their beats, it's like I'm thinking of this type of scene. You know what I mean? If there's a scene that requires that type of ominous sound, Fat Nail, man, no brainer.
Easily.
Build
Yeah.
build up the tension,
Yep.
everything. That's Fat Neil. But don't get it twisted. I got beats of Fat Neil that is very uplifting, and it's very like it perks you. You know what I mean? It gets you up, and it's not like of that nature. Now this is his, most of his work is like this.
Hmm.
Again, it's up to the listener to interpret how they feel when they hear it. But yeah, man, that'll be a great idea. That'll be a great idea. Making a film. That'd be a great idea.
Yep. So, if you can, is there any other promo that you or teasers that might be coming for a Dark Storm?
Yes, I will say it. There is a video coming out. Maybe two.
Okay.
Yeah, man. This so far we've been receiving a lot of great reviews on the project. So, usually
Prideful.
an EP we wouldn't really ride out this long, but man, it's hitting the right spots right now. You know what I mean? Everywhere else, and
So,
it went through the circuits as I call them, and you know what I mean. It went through a lot of the stations, and
mhm.
now it's just whoever is really rocking with it. We're gonna give you a little bit more. You know what I mean? And who doesn't say that possibly there could be, a redrop of this with some more songs on it, and you know, it's
Never
possible.
know, right?
Anything's possible with high speed.
Nice, nice. Is King Arthur filming and editing those as well?
Man, ain't nobody else touching my shit, man. Ain't nobody else touching my shit, man. And if they no, hold on. Let me go back. Cuz if somebody if it requires someone else like that, of course, King Arthur would always know like this is the right decision. This is the right route for this. You know, why? Like we got the resources, we got everything, that we could need and everything we drop hits. And I'm not a big guy that's always into, how many likes it got and how many views, man. This shit's timeless and it's in the vault. And if you got to stumble upon it in 5 years, so be it. If it's got to go viral in 5 years, so be it. Not into that type of shit, you know what I mean? But anything King Arthur does touch, it looks amazing. So, you know, I don't see me going in a different direction with a different videographer or something anytime soon. But like I said, if we need to, I'm sure that we'd make that decision.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Right.
Are we expecting the drop for?
Um, it's already done. It's already
Nice.
done. It's already
Nice.
done. I'm just gonna say that it's already done. Now, dropping, I don't know.
That's good enough news right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, we just trying to, you know what I mean? Trying to keep, get keeping everybody happy. You know what I mean? That we got loyal people. You know what I mean? So we don't ever want to let them down. We're gonna give them the right product. You know.
Yeah. Indeed,
So
indeed. Being that I grew up on a lot of underground hip hop, college radio,
I'm
pirate
sorry.
radio stations.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything you said for about a minute. You was cutting in and out. I think you're frozen too right now. Get your ponchos. Get your ponchos. I'm about to try it on right now.
Hey, King Arthur, can you hear me?
Get your ponchos. Get your
You hear me?
ponchos. Get your ponchos.
Looked like I dropped out for a second. My internet.
Pardon. I thought we were taking a commercial break.
No, I think my internet dropped on me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
Okay, good, good.
Still here.
All right. Now I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that.
Nah, you're good, bro.
Okay, we was talking about the drop. Okay. My next thing is everything on high speed network. What collaborations can we expect between you and King Arthur? Maybe
Well,
this year or next year.
so man, me and King Arthur, we're gonna do a project, man. We're gonna do a project. It's gotta be done, man. It's gotta be done. We're gonna do a project. Now the rest I'm not gonna talk about because things change,
Right.
directions change. We gotta weather the storm, man. You know what I mean? Especially, especially this rap shit now and all over the man. It's crazy. So we want to make sure we push the right product at the right times, have the game plans, and that takes time. So we don't just
Agreed.
drop something and think about it after. You know what I mean? We like to calculate the whole thing, whole rollout.
Agreed. Agreed. And y'all definitely, y'all keep your eyes on how everything is going on through the business and taking advantage of social media and this availability that we have with everything. You know, proper marketing, and that's why I like the poncho going with a dark storm.
Right. And yeah, man. We like I said, we want to push great quality goods. You're not gonna get no cheap stuff around our way. You know what I mean? So anything we drop, just look out for. It's gonna, you're gonna have it for a very long time. You're gonna love it.
So, oh, definitely looking forward to that. So outside of music, what else positive had been going on that you'd like to share with the people?
Man, I've been getting more involved in my community.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, man. We helping a lot of people for this 5K walk we're getting involved in for autism. You know what I mean? We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff, man. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff for the community. I you know, it's a little I want to be a great example for my children as well,
Hmm.
and cuz it's vital. It's vital nowadays. You see a lot of these robotic people, you know what I mean? Everybody's
Hmm.
heads down, everybody's focused on this technology. And I know people have been saying it sounds like a broken record, our parents said it, their parents said it, this technology's gonna be the death of us. I mean, they might not be wrong, you know what I mean? So yeah, I get involved with my community. That's kind of like my little side thing I've been doing, and I enjoy it a lot, giving back. So
That's great.
I will continue to do that.
That's great. Definitely positive to understand as men getting older, understand the importance of a legacy and also, you know, trying to do your best to help the community.
Yeah,
And
and
that's where it starts. It starts from the ground up in your own town before you try to do anything expansive.
exactly, and who knows who you might inspire,
Very true.
like, you know, I'm the type that I'd fight for my people. It doesn't matter if I rock with you. I don't want to see nobody get abused and or nobody go down bad and things happening to them. So yeah, I think my next thing I want to do is get my children involved now, like start to help out with me.
Hmm.
That way they could really see, um, you know, the people that are not going through the best, and be able to be a part of something in someone's life.
True. Very true. Yep. Always lead by example. There was a time when I right after work I used to go to a food bank in Harlem, and I worked there for about an hour and a half, and then go home
Nice.
from there. And it's just the little things that count. You're not doing it to get someone else's appreciation and accolades. You're doing it for a proper cause. So with a
Right.
proper cause, you don't need to go and constantly broadcast what you're doing. Like, I see often too much on social media about people doing things for homeless people. I mean, you can completely do that all the time without having to record it every single.
Nobody should be documenting that stuff.
Exactly.
People who are documenting these things are doing it for other people's validation. Like, hey, look, you see, I'm actually a good guy.
Yep.
It's like, no, now that's less.
Hmm.
Now I look at you less. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, oh, you gave him $20. Like,
Yep.
why'd you gotta tell us that? You know? And that's the same thing with me. Whatever I do in my community, you can ask anybody in my community. I don't document that. Other people will document it, like in terms of like spreading awareness. That's cool. I
Yeah.
happen to be in a flick. That's fine. But I'm not out there like, unless it's to spread some sort of awareness to like a program or something of that nature. I'm not the type to do that. And I've never been. I'm humble enough to just be in the scenes when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And
I
I teach,
see. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. And I teach my kids that too,
Yeah.
to not be like that.
I'm gonna say one of the greatest gifts is to unexpectedly have someone approach you and say how they might have been inspired by you, or you have your children or your child with you, and someone comes up to you and says something, positive about something that you might have did to help them out in life. That's the real reward.
And it's not a risk at all. It's something that you can give a little bit of your time to give back. And there's gonna be many opportunities because I'm gonna tell you right now, this world isn't short of problems. So if anybody is ever thinking about this, is a shout out to everybody out there. If anybody's ever thinking about getting involved, it's man, I recommend it. Even a little bit goes a long way, and
Always.
it'll tweak your moral compass to the best. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Indeed, indeed. And
a
we
dark
gonna
storm just turned positive.
there it is. Indeed.
Hell
Yes,
yeah,
indeed. And we're gonna keep it on that note. And we're gonna say we appreciate you, Louis Sincere, for
appreciate it, King.
presenting a dope EP, A Dark Storm with Fat Neil. Definitely look
Right.
forward to more what you have coming, as well as High Speed Network, and as well as Fat Neil, Cooper Circle. And the floor is yours. Definitely, let everyone know where they can reach out and support.
Yo, follow me on Instagram at 508 Sincero. Follow highspeed.network7 on Instagram. Bandcamp Louis Sincere. Cop the ponchos. I showed y'all that's some good quality joints. Don't get caught in the rain. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna wish you had this. Not those little flimsy joints that still leak inside you. Still, you know what I mean? This
Yep.
this is some good quality work. $35.99 plus shipping. Don't forget the shipping. All right. Yeah, man, and I wanna give a huge shout out to you, of course. You have done nothing but showed so much immense love to us, and we appreciate
Appreciate it.
that heavy. You do your research, and I think that really makes the interview worth watching almost 100% of the time because it's just like you know exactly who you're talking to, and I love that. That just makes this so much more easier and comfortable. Cause I'm gonna be real, I fucking hate interviews. All right, I fucking hate them because I don't want to say some shit. Hey, I be trying to hold in a lot of stuff, man. I'm just saying. But you've made it so comfortable for me, and I appreciate you
I
for that.
appreciate that.
And big shout out to King Arthur, of course. He
Indeed.
coordinates a lot of these things for me. And yeah, man, more on the way. Always. High Speed Network. You figured
It
there
is.
was me.
It is. I just wanted to add one thing because I feel that what we do for artists like you is vital the same way I see certain photographers throughout the years capturing moments at events, and some of them I've come to personally know now, and it's part of keeping this culture thriving. So definitely salute to all the photographers out there that are continuously doing the same thing of making hip hop well known in the right way.
Right. Absolutely.
And we're gonna end it right there and say, on behalf of our HHDG media crew, we're gonna say peace.
Peace.